Hi everyone, so I am here holding 3 books. This is the series of Because of Mr. Terupt. Now we know that the sequel is the second one, and when there's more than 2, it becomes a series. Now, we have just finished Because of Mr. Terupt. I liked it. I hope you did as well. And now we are moving on to the second book, which is called Mr. Terupt Falls Again. The third one, Saving Mr. Terupt. I don't know about you, but these 2 titles suggest to me that something else is going to happen to Mr. Terupt. Mr. Terupt Falls Again and Saving Mr. Terupt. So we shall see. Now let's read just as we did with Because of Mr. Terupt. We read the back. We read, this is just a quick summary kind of to draw you in, to get you the main ideas of what you're about to read. Sneak peek, you could call the back of a book. Okay. Now, someone wrote a comment. Sometimes authors put these on the front of their books. Someone who read it wrote, "A surprising and totally satisfying sequel. The voices ring true." Sounds good. Here we go. Mr. Terupt brought them together. Now it's their turn. Mr. Terupt's class is spending 1 more year with him before they graduate and head off to junior high. But for 7 students, 6th grade comes with its own set of challenges. Peter may be forced to leave his friends. Jessica uncovers startling details about Mr. Terupt. Luke gets some unexpected answers. Alexia hangs with a too cool crowd. Oh no, she's come so far. Jeffrey makes a life-changing discovery. Danielle suspects her family is keeping secrets from her. And Anna decides she's ready for the truth. And that's before Mr. Terupt springs news on them. Really big news. The students of Snow Hill School will need to pull off an extra special project. But are happy endings on the horizon? Or will everyone fall all over again? I think we should just dive right on into it. Okay. Hi, Christine. Awesome. Alrighty, here we go. Mr. Terupt Falls Again. Now we know this is also called the title page. It gives you the copyright date, the place of publication, who edited the book. Alright, now this was copyrighted in 2012, so about 8 years ago. It's crazy. This is actually an older book, but yet it's getting a ton of hype now. Like, this is an up-and-coming book, but it was written like 8 to 10 years ago, this series. So, yeah. All right, part 1. Summer. Ooh, I love it. They're introducing us with summer rather than just jumping into the next school year. I was wondering if they were going to do that. And we begin with the perspective of Peter. Here we go, everyone. It was one of those farts that stunk so bad you could taste it. Peter. One of those that made your eyes water and forced you to tuck your nose under your shirt collar. It must have been hot and steamy coming out, but there's no explanation for its horrid stench. I know it sounds like your classic silent but deadly. It wasn't. Her fart ripped like a firecracker when it went off. That's right. It wasn't me. It was Lexi. Great way to start off the book, everyone, right? Starting off strong. She dropped her stink bomb one day during the summer when we were helping Mr. T move our old classroom down to the 6th grade annex. After last year, I wanted to spend all my time with Mr. T. I didn't want a day to go by that I wasn't with him. That's why I spent my vacation helping him with the move. Besides, Mom and Dad weren't around. They were working all the time, even in the summer. Business called, and my older brother Richard was off doing his own thing, which was DJing. He had his own equipment and did all the small parties, birthdays mostly. It wasn't like we needed the money, and Mom and Dad didn't force him to get a job, but that's what he did. He said it helped him get the girls. Lexi and I weren't the only ones choosing to hang with Mr. T. Anna and Ms. Newberry helped a lot, and Jeffrey showed up sometimes too. There weren't a lot of other people around school in the beginning, just our custodians, office staff, and our principal, Mrs. Williams. Now, I have to stop and just say I'm having a text-to-self connection. When it's summertime, a couple weeks before the school year begins, teachers have to set up their classroom, and that takes place in the summer still. And it's very similar. The custodians are there, and Mrs. Kelly, our principal, is there as well. So text-to-text connection, I'm relating to what's going on right now. I was on my way to our class one morning and stopped to take a leak before heading upstairs. There was a bathroom around the corner from the office that no one ever used, a small bathroom with a single urinal and stall. I don't know what possessed me, but I've always liked to mess around in bathrooms. Old habits die hard. I walked in and the stall door stared back at me with a funny look on its face. "Hiya," I yelled, running and throwing a roundhouse karate kick at my target. I didn't actually know martial arts, but I'd seen the move on TV. The door banged open and slammed shut after ricketing off the wall. "Ah!" someone screamed. "Huh?" I didn't expect anyone to be in there. Like I said, no one ever used this bathroom. "Peter, I'm going to kill you," Jeffrey barged out of the stall. I had scared the snot out of him. All right, I could tell. He must have sprayed everywhere. He had wet spots all over his pants. I wanted to laugh, but Jeffrey just glared at me. I don't know about you, but it sounds like Peter is going back to his old ways here. I backed to the door. I didn't know you were in there, I swear. "You better grow eyes in the back of your head, he warned. I yanked the door open and hurried upstairs while Jeffrey stayed open, probably to dry his pants. I got to work helping Mr. T. If you've ever moved, then you know it's all about boxes. Packing boxes, lifting boxes, and unpacking boxes. Boxes, boxes, and more boxes. After a while, I got sick of them, so I tried cramming one with as much as I could fit, thinking the more stuff in each box would mean less boxes altogether in the end. Luke, our classic brainiac, would have been proud of my smarts. The problem was I forgot about needing to lift the box after jamming it full of books and anything else I could get inside. "Peter, you've got too much in there," Anna warned. "You should take some stuff out." I liked Anna and all, but I wasn't about to listen to a girl. I managed to pick up the box after almost getting a hernia, but then the stupid box bottom fell out. I stood there like a dork, holding an empty cardboard box with junk all around my feet. Mr. T and Ms. Newberry got a good chuckle, and I know Anna had to bite her tongue. After the super heavy box strategy failed, I decided I'd take 2 normal-sized boxes and stack them, one on top of the other. My idea was that 2 at once would lead to fewer box trips. He is not giving up. Luke would have been proud again. The problem this time wasn't that they were too heavy, but that I couldn't see very well. I got the 2 lifted and started on my way, but I didn't make it very far before I ran into one of the classroom desks. The corner hit me right in the you-know-what. I dropped the boxes and balled up on the ground, groaning and holding my privates. You'd think a boy would get some sympathy from a male teacher after an injury like that, but Mr. T had a funny way of showing he cared. Come on, you're all right, Peter," he said. Even with my injury, he made me smile. Of course, everyone else thought he was hysterical, especially Lexi. "Oh, Peter," she sang. "Hey, it's a tongue twister." "Okay, Lexi," Mr. T said. She thought it was a riot. She couldn't stop laughing, and then she got to laughing so hard that she farted, right out loud. A real stinker, served her right. Lexi turned bright red in the face. I wasn't about to let her off easy by pretending nothing had happened. "Oh my gosh," I yelled. "What now?" Mr. T asked, looking up from the box he had gone back to packing. "Peter farted," Lexi was quick to say. "What? No way, that was you." I was ready to wring her neck. "That's a classic cover-up, Peter," she said, blaming someone else. "Are you nuts?" "We know you hurt your peanuts," she said. "We're sorry." "That's enough, you two," Mr. T said. "Someone farted. I don't care who, just don't do it again. It stinks." He covered his nose with his shirt, and so did a laughing Miss Newberry. Lexi flashed me her devil smile. "Better go check your underwear after that one," I whispered. The only good thing about her fart was that it somehow made me forget about hurting myself. And so went my summer. Watch out for Jeffrey, deal with Lexi, and hang with Mr. T. I had a good time. That was quite an introduction to the second book. I don't know what you're thinking, or that was hard to read and kind of awkward to read on YouTube. However, it is the book, and we know that in the first book, sometimes these kids had moments similar to this one right here. And it is pretty realistic because I feel like this is something that could easily happen to any of us. Okay, so moving on, I am noticing a difference already in this book, and it's that each perspective is longer. The last book, each perspective was maybe a page and a half, sometimes half a page, remember? And maybe it will be like that. Yeah, look at that. However, that's a pretty long perspective, which started with Peter. So I'm actually going to stop there because there's a lot to think about from just that. Recapping a little bit, it is summer. The kids a few of them are helping Mr. Terupt move into downstairs where he's going to teach them 6th grade now. Miss Newberry is there helping. We had some predictions about Mr. Terupt and Miss Newberry. So let me know what your thoughts are. What do you think about the beginning? Kind of weird, but definitely entertaining. One of the things the author does, and he's doing it again, is he is using the strategy of humor to engage the reader. So that's a question we've asked a lot this year. How does the author keep us interested? How do we not get bored in a book? Because that happens a lot. And this author does a really good job at keeping you on your toes as you read, leaving you in suspense, adding in humor, a lot of conversations between characters, so you really feel like you're there. So far, it's off to a good start. Let me know what you think, and tune in tomorrow for our next section. Have a good day, everyone!